What's up, everybody? Smooth Cosplayer here, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer. I want to share with you guys a meme that I found last summer, and I'm sharing this meme because when I read it, it really spoke to me. It really resonated with my thoughts, my viewpoint on cosplay and how cosplayers have the freedom to do what they want to do with their own cosplay, with their own art. So let's go ahead and read that meme for you guys really quickly. Hard to swallow pills. Cosplayers are fan artists, but with costumes. It is their freedom how they cosplay a character, be it accurate, altered design, gender bend, bought, made, sexy, not even close. Unless you are paying them to make something for you, cosplayers are in no obligation to opt the cosplay in a way that you approve. And that first sentence really spoke to me, saying that cosplayers are like fan artists but with costumes. That's one of the best, most accurate descriptions of cosplay that I've ever come across. Like, just like a fan artist will take something already existing and they may draw it exactly the way that it shows up, but just in their own art style, or they may tweak this detail, tweak that detail. They do what they want with it. Same thing with cosplay. We are artists. We really are artists, and we may decide to stay accurate. We may decide to change things to our liking, or we may decide to change something to make it look the way we would have done it if we did it, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's a very accurate description of what cosplay is. And then further on, it talks about, unless you are paying someone to do something, they don't owe it to you to cosplay the way you want. Let me tell you guys something. A lot of people don't realize that cosplayers, most of us, the vast majority of us, don't make money off of this. We don't get paid to do what we do. I've actually had within the past year, now it's only been 2, but that's enough to make me wonder if there are more people who are wondering this. I've actually had 2 friends ask me if that's my full-time gig now, just simply because they see so many pictures on my Facebook page of me in cosplay. But yeah, we don't get paid. A very small fraction of us actually do this full time or even get any amount of income from it, let alone enough income to live off of. Some people, do Patreon and sell prints, but even a lot of times that's not enough to pay bills. That's just enough to, pay your way to the con, or I'm just guessing at this point because I don't have a Patreon, I don't sell prints, so I really don't know. But yeah, very few of us actually get any income from this. This is a very expensive, or potentially expensive, hobby. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I'm only slightly exaggerating when I say blood and sweat, because I'm pretty sure a lot of us have some, accidentally cut ourselves or burned ourselves with a hot glue gun or a heat gun. Blood, sweat, and tears, sweating as I'm doing this, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy. We're not gonna do all of that to impress somebody else. Well, at least most of us won't. We do that for us first, okay? So yeah, unless you are directly paying somebody to do it, nobody owes it to you to cosplay the way you want them to. Now, I came across this meme again a few months later. It was posted on some Facebook page somewhere, and you would think by now I would learn to not read comments, but I slipped up that day and I looked and I saw one particular comment that stood out to me. But to some extent, since they are not owners of the character, they should still have the responsibility to give respect to the character, the artist behind the character, fans of the character who will surely see you if you go out in public. It is not just about you. It is a community that involves other people and interaction. Now, when I first read that comment, I agreed with the first 2 points, but having reread it again a few times, I only slightly agree with those first 2. So we're talking about respecting the character itself, which I feel is really subjective, okay? Because you might have, like for me, for instance, I feel like you're respecting the character as long as your cosplay is recognizable as that character, and as long as you still, even with your changes or your tweaks or your different spins that you put on it, as long as you are still keeping the essence of that character, I feel like you're respecting the character. Whereas somebody else may feel like, unless you have every little minor molecule of the detail accurate, then you're not respecting the character. So respecting the character is very subjective, and at the end of the day, how can you respect or disrespect something that is not an actual sentient being. Like, how's that character going to feel disrespected? How's that character going to tell you that they're feeling disrespected if they are? Then we have respecting the artist. Again, at first I agree with that, but then the more I thought of it, how many of us actually know the artist to the point where we would know what they feel is disrespecting their work or respecting their work? I'm like, how do you know? Like, do you hang out with that artist on the weekends? Do y'all meet for coffee on Wednesdays? Do y'all know each other? Do y'all hang out every once in a while? Unless you know that artist personally, you really can't speak to what is disrespectful to the work or what is respectful to their work. So, but yeah, that last point, I definitely don't agree with that, saying that, oh, we have to respect the fans that are going to surely see us in person. My initial thought upon reading that was, did you not read the original meme that said that unless you are paying us to do it, we don't owe you anything? First of all, let's backtrack a second. If we're cosplaying, the majority of the time, we are fans of that character, so we are fans ourselves. So honestly, the only fan that I feel like I owe anything to is myself, okay? I'm pretty sure if I do something, you know, even if it's just one fan, some other fan of the same thing is going to like what I'm doing, okay? Now, as long as one fan likes it, I feel like I'm doing something right, you know? So, and also, you can't please everybody. Regardless if you're doing cosplay or anything else, you can't fall into the trap of trying to please everybody. But that's really what that point was trying to say. Trying to please all the other fans out there. It's pointless. You know, so you might as well not even try. Like I said, you're putting your own energy, your own money, your own time, your own effort into this. You know, so why please anybody else but yourself? Okay. And so that comment and I've seen a few other comments that kind of have the same theme to them. So big shout out to Lady Sorrow 68 on Instagram. She's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Universe cosplayers. I saw a post of hers where she was dressed as Super Saiyan God Blue Vegeta, and she took a little liberty with that. She dyed her hair blue to match Super Saiyan God Blue, but she decided to not make her hair in an updo like Vegeta's hair is, you know, not sticking up. So she decided to not change her hair in that way or not get a wig. And someone left a comment on her on that photo, kind of implying the same thing that the other comment on the other meme was saying. I mean, it isn't a good cosplay. All you have is the armor, and honestly, you should have just dyed your hair purple and be Trunks. If you can't get the hair, how will anyone know who you're cosplaying? At least put the hair up, or make a visible widow's peak. I understand why people give you hate on your cosplay, because it isn't accurate or good, to be honest. By the way, side note, you know, I go on the guy's page, and of course, there's no cosplays on his page. And again, I'm not saying you can't, you know, say anything or have an opinion about cosplay if you don't cosplay, but understand your opinion holds very little value to those of us who do if you don't cosplay. Okay, so just side note there, a little free one for y'all. There's another comment later on, after they've had a little bit of a back and forth. That's cool and all. I'm just saying that people who are fans have the right to be upset, and they are justified because it isn't accurate. So again, that goes back to the end of that original meme and the end of the comment on that original meme. So this person is implying that fans of that show have the right to be upset when somebody cosplays a character and isn't accurate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that you can't be upset at anything. You have the right to be upset at whatever you are upset about. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. I always believe that your feelings are always valid. Your feelings are right. It's just what you do with them that makes things right or wrong. But the fact that you would say that fans have a right to be upset because of somebody's cosplay, that screams of entitlement to me. The fact that you expect that somebody else that you don't know, who you aren't paying, who is not affiliated with the company of the thing that you're a fan of, that you have a right to be upset that they're not doing what you want? That's a whole lot of arrogance, a whole lot of entitlement there. Okay, you have a right to be upset at that, but why do we care that you're upset about what we do? That just makes no sense to me. No sense at all. I want to give you guys one more point that kind of runs into the same, one more comment rather, that runs into the same theme of these past comments. Big shout out to Deathmask 2002. I saw a post of his where he cosplayed as Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. He cosplayed an alternate color of his costume. It's an in-game costume. It is canon because it shows up in the game. And somebody left a comment saying, "I prefer accurate cosplays." Why would you leave that comment on somebody's page? Why do we care what you prefer? Again, that just kind of reeks of... Now, let me stop for a second. You have a right to prefer what you want. You have the right to your own preferences. I'm not arguing against that. What I am arguing against is the audacity that you would have to post on somebody else's page what you prefer. If I'm cosplaying something, why do I care what somebody else prefers? Okay? Again, I'm putting my own resources, my own money, my own everything into this cosplay. Why does somebody else's preference play into that at all? So the guy, of course, later on, as you know, they get into a back and forth. Other people are chiming in and telling him how rude he's being. He of course decides to backtrack and says that. Let me pause again for a second, because if you look at the picture of his cosplay, the only thing that stands out that doesn't match is the skin tone, because you know my boy is black and the character is white. So why would you think anything else if you read that and think, he's saying that it's not accurate because because of the skin tone? But he points out that he feels that the style of hat is not the same. That's a very minor, very minuscule detail that very few people would tell, and very few people, I would argue, care about. I use all those examples to say, and I do believe that I would probably speak for most of, if not all, cosplayers when I say this. I don't cosplay for you, okay? I cosplay for me. My cosplay is not for you. Let me explain what I mean by that. All artists, we do like when other people like our stuff, okay? I don't think there's any artist out there worth their salt who doesn't like when other people like their stuff. But we do this for ourselves first, okay? And like I said, cosplay is a hobby. We're not selling records. We're not selling, we're not trying to make it big off of this, where some of us are, a very small few of us are. But for the most part, we're doing it as a hobby, to have fun. Okay, so we are putting our own enjoyment first. Our own enjoyment is our first priority. We ourselves are our target audience. Okay, so you might say, okay, well, if you're your own target audience, if you do it for yourself, why are you posting it on the internet? Why are you putting it out there for public consumption? Why are you posting it on social media? Well, again, and I don't think everybody who asks that question applies to this, but again, I feel like there's a little bit of arrogance in that, for you to think, oh, because you put it on the internet, then you put it out there for the purpose of putting it out there for my enjoyment, and you need to cater to what I enjoy. No. There's a myriad of different reasons why people put things, why cosplayers put their stuff on the internet. We might just be proud of our stuff and want to show it off. How about that? There's nothing wrong with that. We also want to connect with other cosplayers. We also want to make, I know for my friends and family who don't cosplay, they know that I cosplay, and sometimes they want to see pictures. Sometimes I want to show them my cosplays without keeping a crap ton of pictures on my phone. I want it to be easily accessible. Sometimes, I know for me, I want to show work in progress photos of my cosplays, so that way other people who want to cosplay, other people who want to pick up on techniques can look at that and say, oh, that's how he made that, that's how he did that. I know I like that. I know I like looking at other people's work in progress and learning some things from that. We're a big community, so we like sharing our stuff among each other. So it's kind of hard to do that and have it out there without, the rest of the internet seeing it. So that's, you know, a double-edged sword there. So there's a lot of different reasons why we post our stuff on the internet, you know. So it's not just, if we put it on the internet, that doesn't automatically mean, oh, I put my picture out here for all of you to pick apart, to to ridicule, to like or dislike, to praise or not praise. And yes, that stuff does come, but that's not the main purpose. You know, you are free to enjoy my cosplay. I want you to enjoy it. You know, it's out there for you to see, and if you enjoy it, cool. If not, it's fine. You're well within your rights to not like my cosplay. It's okay for you to think that it sucks. It's okay for you to think that it's amazing. But just understand that I don't put it out there for the purpose of your enjoyment. You are free to enjoy it, but I don't put it out there with your enjoyment in mind. If you happen to enjoy it, that is icing on my cake, okay? But I still got that cake, that delicious cake, without that icing, okay? I'm gonna be okay if you don't like it. So, you know, leaving comments like that, all that kind of stuff, that's a whole different story. But the main point here is that, you know, for anyone to have the audacity to think that because I cosplay that I need to cater to anyone else out there. Again, impressing anybody else is secondary. Now, don't get me wrong, I do feel like I do want to impress people sometimes, because I know that when I see another cosplay that's super awesome, or an obscure cosplay or obscure character that I haven't seen cosplay before, that gives me that geek out feeling. I want to give other people that geek out feeling. That does give me a little bit of joy. That does give me some enjoyment to see other people react to it. I do like that, but if that doesn't happen, I'm okay. As long as I'm okay with what I did, that's all that matters to me. Everything else, like I said, is icing on the cake, cherry on top. All right, so I hope that, you know, that sticks with you guys, that you guys understand that. And I apologize if any of this alienated any of you who follow me and like my cosplay. That definitely was not my intent, but if that is the impact that it had, you know, I'll go back to the drawing board and you know, learn how to say that in less abrasive of a manner. But I want you guys to understand that when people cosplay, it's first and foremost our own fun, our own enjoyment that we're putting first. Everything else is second. That's it for me tonight, guys. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good time at whatever con you're going to next. Good luck on your cosplay builds. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, and I will see y'all at the next video. Peace.